Welcome one and all to a glittery Carolina evening in the upstate, where tonight's match is presented by ScanSource. We bring you to Clemson, fabled Riggs Field Center's two of the old stocking horses of the USL. Greenville Triumph and Richmond Kickers reach out for one another once more. The roadside swirling into this one with a chance to win a third consecutive league fixture for the first time in nearly 100 matches. Howdy folks, with Ross Davenport, I am Peyton Gallagher. And Ross says we look at the trajectory of both these teams on opposite heading. Greenville Triumph massively struggling over the last couple.
Yeah, injuries and a tough run of opponents have tripped Greenville up of late. Coming to tonight, 2 straight shutout league losses sandwiched around a very disappointing road performance at Pittsburgh in the Cup. They do get Devon Boyce back in the starting 11 tonight. Could be a huge addition. The first signing by new manager Dave Dixon was expected to be one of the key cogs in his best 11, which many would say we really haven't seen yet this season.
Crucial for Dave Dixon's team to get that offense popping. Chapo Herrera steps in for what will be his second appearance in the league today. He is our player to watch, presented by Hopkins Eye Center.
Yeah, the influential 30-year-old defensive midfielder. He missed the first 4 league games of the season injured, but managed to go 90. And last weekend's loss to Omaha, Dave Dixon said it's massive to have him back. The heartbeat of this team sets the standard for the team's work rate and just his quality on the ball.
Across the line from the Triumph, Richmond Kickers, Jaron Sawatsky and his men have sewn together consecutive league victories heading into this one.
They have won against Omaha after a sluggish start. Richmond come into tonight off impressive home league wins over those high-flying Omaha Buhos and Westchester with a number of new additions. It was always going to take a little time for Darren Sawatsky's men to gel, and a third straight league win this evening against one of their bogey sides over the last few years would be a huge victory.
Luca Dorado. Is set for what will be the 20th all-time all-competition meeting between Greenville Triumph and the Richmond Kickers. Never has there been a fixture between these two that went without a goal. The fireworks start when we return here in Clemson. Kickoff up next.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through. Growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
My name's Adam Gorlitsky, the founder and executive director of I Got Legs. We help paralyzed athletes get access to exoskeletons that allows them to stand up and walk again. The South Carolina Education Lottery allowed me to get an education and then use it as a springboard in really launching my organization. It all kind of connects back to making life a little bit easier for people.
More accessibility means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
It started with a painful play. Then a team that rallied. A surgeon who made it look easy. And a therapist who pushed just the right amount. Orthopedic care from start to finish at Prisma Health. We're not just here to heal, we're here for good.
I think that music is a kind of magic. As a therapist, I have seen firsthand what music can do. And because of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to go to school and turn my passion for music into a career that helps others. And that is pretty magical too.
Better support means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Kickoff closely approaching here in Clemson. Greenville Triumph and Richmond Kickers the lineups. For the two sides, starting with the home team, Greenville Triumph, and Dave Dixon trying to get back off on the good foot here, Ross.
Yeah, 3 changes as look to end this goal-scoring drought. Income boys, Patrick Seegers and Evan Lee. Connor Evans goes to the bench. Deshaun Beckford, no sign of him in the 18th. Jack out as well.
for Darren Sawatsky and the Kickers coming off that victory against Westchester. The main point of intrigue up top with Luca Dorado stepping in.
Yeah, Josh Kirkland sustained what looked like a hamstring injury in that game. Luca Dorado up top, as we mentioned. But yeah, keep an eye on Ali Sasanka, one of the best new additions in the league at that defensive midfield spot.
Lineups all presented by CISA. Out to the live pictures now. Two old foes, nose to nose again. Greenville and Richmond have seen plenty of each other down the years. They will dust them off. Richmond trying to get a victory over Greenville for the first time in some time as they step into this one, having failed to secure all 3 points against their opposition today in 9 consecutive fixtures in all competitions. Dave Dixon teased this match as a mammoth one in the early going after a fast start for Greenville. In 2026, things have cooled considerably. No goals for them for the last 320 plus minutes in all competitions.
Yeah, and a couple of real tough away games coming up at Portland and at Knoxville before they open their new stadium on Wednesday, June 3rd against Fort Madison. Needs some momentum coming into this squad before that date for sure.
The heartbeat of American soccer certainly pumping again. We are past that first real line of demarcation in a season. Matches starting to pile up, starting to get a good picture of who everybody is on the year, and both these teams who struggled for fitness in the early going much more whole at this stage as they come to grips once more.
Yeah, we're not sure where Shane Beckford or Ivan Ajakwa. We thought Greenville were getting close to full health coming into this game, especially with Boyce healthy and Chapa Herrera, certainly two of the key members of the Greenville midfield. Yeah, back to getting a little short perhaps coming into tonight. See if we don't know anything about those. They weren't listed as injured, Beckford or Ajakwa. Maybe they're just a coach's decision. This man will be a big factor tonight.
Rodrigo Robles over the ball, only one shot. Last 2 games, and 10 over the course of the first 3. And we'll look to him to potentially provide that spark in the attacking ends. Up and underway, Richmond Kickers pursuing what would be a 3rd consecutive league win for the first time in 97 league matches dating back all the way to 2022. Greenville looking for their first goal in over 300 minutes in all competitions. Plenty to play for as we approach nearly a 3rd of the way played in this 2026 campaign. Once more, with Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Gallagher. This match taking place at famous Riggs Field, Ross, the last league match that Greenville Triumph will play before opening up shop and heading home to GE Vernova Park.
Yeah, exciting time. Saw some videos on the socials this week of the grass looking superb. Obviously, still a bit of work to do on the surrounding areas of the grass, but yeah, exciting times coming here for the Triumph fans. Some lovely grass to play on tonight here, obviously at Riggs.
Just worked out a play. That match will be against Fort Madison on June 3rd. One more home date in between those 2 games, the one today and that one the calendar will be circled for. That will be in the Prince Tires USL Cup against Loudoun United this coming Friday. Hoisted in from deep. Much improved defensive side this year, Richmond. The leakiest in the league last year, surrendered 53 goals, but Darren Sawatsky, kind of reading the tea leaves of where the division was heading, has opted for a much more negative, if you will, much more direct approach this year, holding only about 35% of the ball on average.
Yeah, we clearly watched a little bit of Chattanooga last season and saw their success. Speaking of Chattanooga, another big win today, 4-1 over Sarasota. An early chance here for a dangerous set-piece delivery, likely from that man, Devin Boyce, from this right wing here.
They are happy to have him back. Started fast and firing for Greenville, scored in the opener against Chattanooga Red Wolves, and was away with some injury. Got back in against Union Omaha for a brief cameo last match. He gets the nod from the opening whistle today. He has a dangerous opportunity early. Brendan Fricky has scored 3 career goals against these very same Richmond Kickers. He will be an outlet that they might be looking for milling around the penalty spot. Most goals he's had against any individual opposition. That's where the ball goes. Lanced over top. Out for a goal kick and a chance to examine the injury list heading into this one.
They're getting a little shorter for both teams. Jason Brosey almost back for Greenville. Had a good week of training. We perhaps might see him next weekend. As for Richmond, Kirkland, I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. Darren Swaski was pretty optimistic about him potentially being available for this game. So he may not be out for too long.
Injuries brought to you by Upstate Spine and Sport.
So Toby Sims making his way back from ACL surgery last season. Kimito Fritz, what a great job he's done, filling in at both fullback spots.
Slipped wide. Richmond arriving on the scene in the final third.
Akio on the left tonight. We saw him operating on the right last week. Not particularly effectively. Only had barely made a double-digit touches in that game. Uh-oh. Let me take that one. Dave Dixon was saying it was disappointing. Had a conversation with William. Obviously was a late addition due to some visa issues. Still getting used to playing with this entirely new front four other than Rodrigo Robles.
Murana now deferring, and a leg left out by Patrick Seacrest.
Seacrest telling the referee that's my first one. Don't give me a card there. Seacrest back in the starting lineup tonight, dealing with a bit of an injury himself lately. That's why Kimito Fritz was on this left side last weekend. The rookie.
Derek Panholzer, the one going to ground, one of those additions for this widely reimagined Richmond roster. He's over the ball here. The Kickers have been one of the fastest starting teams in the league this year. 3 of their 5 total goals have come in the first quarter hour. Niels Seufert, as well as Panholzer, providing the inquiry. From all night back in goal and bouncing. Seufert never really fully came to maturity in whatever the plan was there.
It certainly wasn't that dominant, but all. Not the finest 10 seconds of his career.
Robles. As mentioned, Richmond have not been the most eager to hold possession of the ball this year. Second lowest share of possession in League One at 36.2%. And they've got defending to do here. Seacrest stepped away by Muji Murana. And it will be a throw-in for Richmond and a window to get your pulse for this game, Ross, the keys to the match.
Yeah, Dave Dixon, he's obviously had trouble scoring, but he's also had trouble at the back of late. He was talking about this week when we chatted with him about the connecting, defenders staying connected. He said some teams can get away with it when they get loose because of their athleticism, but he said we have to make sure the back four is connected. They weren't good enough horizontally against Omaha. As for Richmond, Darren Swaski wants his team to be better between the lines. You mentioned the direct approach.
Sloping to the far side, and now at the end line. Cut back in and cued out for what looked like it might be the first corner of the match, but first to foul.
Came through Brandon Fricky. One place that Greenville has managed to stay relatively consistent, that center back spot, which as a coach you love to see. You want those two guys in front of your keeper being as consistent as possible. Hasn't been the case for Richmond. Dakota Barnathan has been great to play defensive midfield and center back very capably.
Jan Filio getting his first touch of the game.
He's been huge for Richmond this season. He's made a number of quality saves back there. First year man with Richmond.
Displaced James Sneddon, who was the club's #1 goalkeeper, the teenager, a year ago. So plenty of abundant talent in the gloves of James Sneddon. Darren Swaski maybe giving his team a little bit of a higher floor with the veteran goalkeeper Fillion. 30-year-old, 154 career senior appearances for him across 8 professional seasons, last appearing in the Maltese top flight, albeit only one time in 2025.
I know you're an expert on the Malta.
I am not. A meaningful opportunity arriving, so too was Brendan Fricky. Might have actually been Anthony Patti who was sweeping out.
Richmond causing This Greenville backline some problems with their movement inside the box. Players in green sort of looking at each other. Hey, who's supposed to have that man? It's a good half chance there.
It stays alive. Greenville are out with it. They don't make it very far.
Macchio certainly brings some pace and athleticism to this Greenville attack. Darren Sawatsky was well aware, familiar with William Macchio from his Canadian days. Of course, Darren spent a long time in the Northwest, relatively close to Canada. Darren, one of those guys that seems to know everybody in the soccer world.
He has cut his teeth sharply. Winningest all-time coach in League One history, crossing the barrier of 70 now for his career. 65 at Richmond in all competitions. Now in his 7th season with the club.
Yeah, always a good chat during the week.
Very fond of you, Ross. Firing away into the box. A snaking dribble off the ricochet. And a skipping stone that carries all the way over on Mall Knight's goal. It's a corner.
Yeah, Darwin Espinal in that left-hand channel where he loves to operate. One of the best technical players in USL League One, showing it off here. The little dink inside, back to the right foot. And key block there. Otherwise, Mall Knight was going to have some serious work to do to keep that one out. It was hit with venom.
Nonetheless, it is a corner. Richmond are one of only 5 teams in the division yet to score a headed goal this year. It's a teasing delivery on Mall Knight. Left out to dry a little bit, and it's still on. Greenville just can't get out right now.
Having trouble stringing passes together.
We told you Richmond have been a hot starting team this year. That's an important point for them, because when they haven't scored inside the first 15 minutes of play this year, they've only scored 2 total goals.
And the lack of Connor Evans today was something we're going to have to keep an eye on. He sort of gel, keeps those lines together, whether he's playing at fullback or in the middle of the park.
On the fullback against Union Omaha, yeah.
We did first time we haven't seen him start the season in league or cup play. USL Creeks Tire Cups, I should say.
What I will say is Richmond are happy to see him not in the starting 11. Scored against them last year, had a pair of assists, a goal contribution in both of the league matches. Evans actually got his first professional goal against these very same Richmond kickers last year in Virginia.
Yeah, you and I are both a bit shocked to not see him in the 11. It wasn't mentioned on the injury report by Dave Dixon this week.
There's danger afoot on the Greenville ends. Where Connor Evans did start last match is Camilo Fritz will put in the tackle at right back.
What a pickup he has been. The rookie DJ Benton was perhaps the likely star there at right back, but obviously he sustained the nasty knee injury. He's likely out for most of the season, if not all of it. Fritz has stepped in massively on this back line. Had to play left back last week with Segrist out.
Played every minute so far this year. Looking for the knock on him all night. Having to let it go for a goal kick. Just trying to get something of a foothold right now, the Greenville Triumph. And foul is called.
You can hear from the reaction from the Richmond bench that was going to at least give somebody a card. Looks like Robles will get the yellow variety. Let's take a look at it here. Oof. Yeah, studs up on the foot. If that had been a little higher, he might have been walking to the sideline. Just clumsy first touch from Robles. Not the kind of guy Greenville wants to see with a yellow card this early.
Looks like that's a yellow card, as you mentioned, on Rodrigo Robles. And Dakota Bonathan, thankfully back to his feet. Darren Sawatsky will be depending on him. Longest serving player currently active with the Richmond Kickers. And joined ahead of the 2022 season. Heading into this game, 149 minutes away from the 10,000 career mark in USL League One. Pursued all the way back to the goalkeeper by Azad Liati. A bit haphazard in the distribution, and stepping in to intercept is Kamito Fritz. It's a short journey, and then Devin Boyce commits what is a fairly cheap foul to give away, quite honestly.
It was a good initial long ball from William Akio. Looking for the run of Liati.
USL and the CBS Sports Network continues on May 13th with a primetime showdown. Newcomer AC Boise take on high-flying FC Naples. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, May 13th. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network. Always good to see League One in the spotlight like that. That atmosphere has been as good as any, regardless of division in the USL.
And we were talking to Dave Dixon about G. Vanova Park in Greenville and what the atmosphere is going to be like there. He said everybody's so close to the field at the new stadium. He can't wait to get there, especially to see the veterans who've stuck around for so long, see how they enjoy the new facility.
Evan Lee, Tyler Pollock, Brandon Fricky. Fricky, maybe a year less in terms of Greenville experience, but just for his perspective, seeing how the league has grown up. All-time minutes leader. A bit of defending in his lap there. Never got all the way to him. Richmond finding the front foot again. Akio, a stiff tackle. Confiscating the ball for the triumph. And now they quilt away. Devin Boyce laying claim, and Robles rolling ahead. Rammed into by Murana, who will quickly go into the book as well.
Yeah, it's a good card to take, though. Undercut the run of Robles. It's a little harshly done by. It wasn't a ton of contact, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Stop that promising attack. Put him in the book every time.
Another snapshot, though, Ross, of the vision that Dave Dixon is trying to instill in this program. He wants them to thrive in those moments of compact chaos and then break out. This is the first time we're really getting to see this team at full complement, even with a couple of key names not available in the starting 11.
Yeah, there's William Akio, along with Devin Boyce, were the first two signings this offseason, Dixon. And we mentioned Akio with the visa issues, but you can see what he brings in that front four, ahead of Lee and Herrera. Just pace and athleticism along everywhere for Dave Dixon to exploit.
Robles has Boyce in the sidecar. Spins it centrally instead and headed off mark. First real attacking moment of opportunity for Greenville triumph.
Another positive impact from William Akio. After last week's disappointment, he's been much more involved tonight on this left side. Ball in from Robles. Akio, decent enough contact, just couldn't direct it on target from the penalty spot.
Another sharp collision. This time Chapo Herrera toppled by Neil Seufert. Robles wasting no time. Has the avenue on the wide side. It's Akio at the end line. A useful ball and required some goalkeeping from Jan Filial. Last game for him, posted 5 saves and a clean sheet against Westchester.
Certainly, I would say he's been the MVP of this team so far between the pipes.
Brendan Fricky has a passing dialogue with the man he just trodden upon, Owen O'Malley.
I think he may have used the word soft there somewhere in that conversation.
No comment.
I've seen Brandon make those marauding runs up the middle on occasion.
Again, he's got all the reason to be confident. Of his 7 career goals, 3 of them have been scored against Richmond Kickers. Happy to put in the defensive shift in that moment, though. until he scored that screamer earlier this year. His last goal had come against Richmond. That was in 2022.
Can't forget that one.
Richmond asking questions again. Fizzing ball in, that's well held by him all night. Made his 200th career save last match against Union Omaha. One of only 8 goalkeepers to ever do that in USL League One.
Don't ask me to name the other 7, please.
I will not. I think you could
Rashid
get...
Nuhu?
Yeah, that's a good guess.
That's my one guess.
I think you could get at least half.
Speaking of keepers, so Jared Mazzola back in USL League One, former Greenville man. As well as Andrew Booth, Corpus Christi.
Mazzola transaction's an interesting one because it means Javier Garcia's on the move as well. Transfer news being broken by Joe Lowry of Backyfield. Matching at it are several Greenville players. Devin Boyce got the first bite. Robles then got a whiff. Not able to lay claim though. Sky-splitting switch of play that carries out beyond the reach of the oncoming attacker. Triumph fans, we'll see you on June 3rd for opening night. Our forever home, GE Vernova Park. As your Greenville Triumph take on Forward Madison in a can't-miss matchup by GE Vernova. Festivities begin at 4:30 p.m. with Fan Fest at Bridgeway Station. Before you make your way into the stadium, be sure to arrive early because all the fireworks will be setting off for that one. All the pageantry and pleasantry of what is a marquee event against Forward Madison on that day, midweek, Wednesday, June 3rd.
Yeah, before that, Greenville will have another bye coming up next weekend. We talked to Dave Dixon just about the rhythm of the season. They haven't been able to get going with that rhythm because of the byes created by the late opening of the stadium. He's looking forward to those Saturday games on a week-to-week basis.
Early fans will be rewarded with a celebratory historic t-shirt to commemorate the event. More than just a game, it's the start of a new era for the club. So wear your green and come ready to make GE Vernova Park loud.
And Dave Dixon also said because of the movement of games that it's going to get a little tricky down the stretch of the season because they have a bunch of games packed in. We'll be at home though. GE Vernova.
Greenville have played the fewest matches at this point of any team in the division. Backloaded schedule. You have to imagine if Greenville are fortunate enough to get out of their group in the Prince Tires USL Cup, that will get even more congested.
Yeah, they've got some work to do after that loss to Pittsburgh. That was a very disappointing performance. Didn't do much in the final third at all.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, nation's leading Spanish language sports network. USLChampionship.com, complete USL TV listings.
These two are in the same group in Prince Tires Cup. They'll play each other all the way on Saturday, July 11th. We'll see how much either team has to play for at that point. Richmond lost their opener to Charlotte. Tough group, that's for sure.
All of them are. And a little dose of what is to come with promotion and relegation inching closer. A lot of Greenville shirts clustered in close proximity inside the 18. Went down a little bit easily there.
That wasn't so for it. I see the number.
Derek Panholzer, I believe.
Done a little easily under the challenge of William Accio. Referee was having none of it.
Devin Boyce picking up the pieces.
And speaking of rhythm, it seems like neither of these teams has had possession for more than 5 or 10 seconds at a time in this game. It's been very disjointed.
Richmond will be more than at home in that kind of tempo. One of the advanced numbers that kind of belies everything that Darren Sawatsky has done this year in transitioning this team into a more defensive posture. Average passes per possession, so that's the amount of passes that Richmond have every time they have the ball. Lowest in the league at 2.5 per. It's been Greenville who have been against the ball for the lion's share of the game so far, and as it looked like things might be changing, more of the same. Bounced away for a throw.
Robles looking for the run of Zadliadi, cut out well by Barnathan. He's been busy tonight, as we perhaps expected.
Aiming for Zadliadi. That was a key point for Darren Sawatsky. Felt like maybe they could isolate Liadi, take him out of the game a little bit. He hasn't had much access so far. That could be a costly giveaway. Man in the middle, it's Zadliadi in behind! And hearing the alarm bells the whole way was Filion. There's some question as to whether or not he exited his area.
I think it was a very veteran move here. He knew he was about to slide out of the area and let go of the ball. Take another look at it here. Just too much on it for Zadliadi. So, similar incident in the Champions League earlier this week. It could certainly have been given as a red card dog, so this was obviously a lot different than that situation, but a goalkeeper handling just outside the area. I think it was good work there in the end by Filion.
You're the one with the officiating background. What are the exact specifications of that rule?
Well, the referee got that one completely wrong midweek. The rule is when the ball is on the edge of the box, that is, if your hand is touching the ball out, the part of the ball that's outside the area, it should be considered illegal, and he stopped a goal-scoring chance there. Got away with it. It was obviously different from Filion there. Like, he just let it go just in time.
Brendan Fricky in a tight spot. Got to do something. He's giving the ball away. Luca Dorado working wide. Espinal laid off into the middle on the 1-2. That's played too narrow, giving them all night a chance.
Similar to down the other end, just too much weight on that pass from Owen O'Malley. All he had to do was just touch it through. You'd expect Espinal to score. Chance like that. Might be another card. Yes, it is.
No chance for hesitation. A monstrous tackle put in by Owen O'Malley, who more than once now has found himself in the thick of things and maybe a little bit lucky here.
It's about as mistimed a challenge as you'll ever see. You see the shake of the head. He knew what was coming. He was still thinking about that through pass just now.
That is his third yellow card of the year, and Zadliadi will remember it.
Former Vermont Green man.
Last year, 12 appearances with Tacoma Defiance. Before that, only 14 for St. Louis City 2 in MLS Next Pro. Already about halfway there this year. Making his 7th of the campaign.
Yeah, he can play wide as well as centrally. That's a poor giveaway there.
So much room for opportunity in this Richmond side, with so many of those long-term centurions of the organization exiting the picture. Obviously, Emilio Torzaghi goes without saying his importance to Richmond and their lineage, but also players like Simon Fitch and Max Shenfield. Plenty of room to make a name in this year's vintage.
Yeah, number of off-season changes for Darren Sawatsky. Once he's starting to see them gel, though, these last couple of games. Win over Omaha, very impressive.
Omaha having been one of the early pacemakers in the division this year. Greenville finding that out the hard way last time out last weekend, losing 2-0.
Yeah, Greenville were poor in that first half. Got things going a little bit in the second half, and then gave up those 2 goals. First one, which was a beauty. Dave Dixon wasn't very happy with it, though. He said he should have snuffed that out a lot earlier in the movement.
They've managed those chaotic moments much better here so far. Greenville have, and now they have a corner. By Bridgeway Brewing Company. Is there something brewing for the home side against the grain? Without swing from Devin Boyce. Into the heart of the area, got away from Fricky. Got it down by Accio. And clattering in there is Evan Lee.
Yeah, Lee's beaten for that possession by O'Malley. 12-on-12 violence, taking him down. Possession, passing accuracy in the final third, both under 45% at the moment. Just the one shot on target so far from Richmond, and it was a tame one right at Amal Knight. You see both of these teams just sort of trying to figure out who they are at this point in the season. You mentioned Greenville just haven't had a full complement of players available. We're still not sure who their best 11 is. Richmond, with so many new additions. If there's two big wins, another one here would be a big scalp.
Rushing ahead and looking for Accio in the box. Saved away for now. Greenville going much more confident on the ball. Hooked in by Herrera, down off the chest of Robles. And play brought to a pause again for a handball. Kevin Broadley's been busy so far. Most of the officiating crew today, Josh Lampkins and Josh Beck running the lines. Kyle Johnson, that's the fourth official.
Yeah, we're almost a half hour and only 2 touches inside the box for Greenville, 1 for Richmond. That tells the story. Sorry, that's shots. Greenville with just the 2 touches. Richmond with 7 touches in the opposition's box. Greenville just unable to get things going in the final third just yet. It's been the story, obviously, the last few games. Over 300 minutes now without a goal in all competitions.
Proceedings from the back, Richmond. And now they take custody. On the move, Dorato's in behind. And stepping out of his comfortable area to intervene was Amal Knight, sweeping up. But the threat's still alive for Richmond kickers. Toddling into the 18 before being thrust away by Brendan Fricky.
Poor giveaway in the middle here. Lovely ball slipped through. Amal Knight had to make a decision, and it was the right one. Almost caught in complete no man's land. Spread himself nicely. Made the big stop. Had to be careful, obviously, not to use his hands.
On O'Malley. Arrowed away by Anthony Patti. Shot from distance is in! It's a calamitous piece of keeping. Mujib Murana makes it 1-0 here in Clemson.
Just moments after a bit of brilliance from Amal Knight, the complete opposite there. Looked like a speculative pot shot from Murana. It was a good 30-plus yards out. It just takes this awkward bounce in front of Amal Knight, but perhaps the ball moved a little bit in the air. It was late getting down to it. The professional keeper certainly has to do better there. Kind of move, he stopped moving his feet. That was the big problem. Had to dive for it in the last second. He was caught out.
His first goal on the season makes a loud sound in Richmond. Right where they want to be.
Good thing for Greenville is still really an hour left in this game. Trying to make up for that mistake.
Bad thing is they've not scored now in 350 minutes if we're counting today's proceedings. Richmond's every intent to compound. They are swashbuckling ahead. Beaten back by Patrick Segrist. Winning every 50-50 though. Second balls belonging to the kickers. Ball. As Akio tries to hawk it away from the goal scorer, Murana. A foul or a throw there? Triumph fans, this one's for you before or after the match. Swing by Bridgeway Brewing Company, your local sports bar and hangout spot. Catch the action on the 15 TVs and enjoy all of the merriment that can be offered by the great food, craft beer, and bowling with your crew. Open 7 days a week. Just a place to keep the match day energy going. Proud supporters of the Greenville Triumph. Eat, drink, bowl, stay a while. Richmond are staying right around the danger area of Greenville.
Yeah, Greenville just looking a little lost here. Trying to find some kind of positivity to try and get momentum back in this game.
No place. It's just not there right now for the Triumph. Everything looks a step slow or a step off.
Dixon talked about the connectivity he wanted at the back, but the connectivity between lines just has not been there tonight at all. Well, spent far too much time in the air as well. Not where Greenville thrives. Richmond has done a good job though of staying compact, getting bodies behind the ball when they've needed to. And I think perhaps Connor Evans could be an option at halftime. Where do you make the change? If you're wanting to try and keep this front four intact and get them playing together a little more.
This is a beautiful passage of play unfolding. Saved away by Amal Knight and stung wide as the goal was begging. Owen O'Malley more than meat left on the bone.
Patrick Segrist gets caught here again, as he did last week. Good save in the end here by Knight, but he's putting it right into the traffic. Wasn't struck particularly well. He just doesn't seem like he's seeing the ball early enough. O'Malley will want that one back. It really should be 2-0.
Will Richmond rue that missed opportunity? Chapa Herrera.
Yeah, he's someone who needs to be on the ball more here, giving that one away cheaply.
Another shot, a clean look at target, and this time a stiffer stop from Amal Knight.
Richmond just finding all kinds of space on this right-hand side. You can see Segrist caught up again, out of position. Good job covering by Anthony Patti, did enough perhaps just to put Soifrit's shot off a little bit. Amal Knight with another save. He's been a busy man here the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Leading 200 saves, well in the rear view and on his way for 300. An out-swinging corner amidst mounting pressure from Richmond, trying to double the advantage. Neil Soifert stabbed away. It's another corner.
Corner kick, Richmond.
Wasn't the best corner. Greenville just made a complete hash of clearing it away.
Corner coming. Needled away, Luca Dorado. Lost it for a moment, but gets it back! Bars it down, it stays out! And the flag is up for offside.
Claims for players in red that it might have crossed the line. I don't think it did. Oh, chaos. Lovely touch by Dorado. Struck this so well through traffic. Ooh, man, that angle. It's a little more dangerous, like it almost did cross the line.
There is no video-assisted referee at this level, so the call will stand, but that's more than one moment where Richmond have come awfully close, in that instance as close as you can get to getting that second goal and putting that extra buffer of separation between them and their opponent on the day. And another foul call. Greenville are coming off a game where they committed 22 fouls against Union Omaha. On pace to set a new high score.
Greenville only had 2 shots in that first half last weekend against Omaha. Things going a little bit. They were much braver in the second half. Going to take another serious halftime talk here from Dave Dixon to get things going at home.
Rana and hounded by Accio. Clean on the ball here from the kickers, right on cue though. Flashed out of play for a throw. Greenville fans, don't miss your chance to rep the Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.shopgreenvilletriumph.com to gear up with the latest official merch, from kits and scarves, hats and more. We're cheering in the stands or watching at home. Show everyone who you support. Get your merch today. Wear your green with pride.
Kickers with 4 shots on target already in this game. That's more than their season average for an entire game.
Technically, that most recent miss from Luca Dorado won't count towards that tally as it hit the bar.
Greenville's still on 0 in that department in this game. Can they find one here before the break? So just too slow, and it's just Greenville just seem a step behind in this game for some reason.
Opening up well. Not much beyond that from Devin Boyce, but reclaimed by Evan Lee, and now Chapo Herrera gets a bit of custody of the ball. He's not willing to part with it yet.
Chapo wasn't supposed to go 90 last weekend, ended up doing so just because of the situation in the game. Going to push a little further forward here. Devin Boyce with a hopeful ball forward.
Oh! Slammed over goal by Azad Liati.
Richmond just lost where that ball was in the air. Liati was the first one to react to it. It looked just more of a hopeful chip into the area. Yeah, Barnathan was left for dead. Azad Liati will want that one back. It would have been a spectacular finish had he put it in. Made great contact, just couldn't keep it down.
Missing out in that moment with the ball hitting over his shoulder, and that ball is a Select ball. Select's being the proud official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, it is
the player's choice.
Everybody knows that. Choosing to do something very useful with it, there was Accio. And in turn, the same case on the free kick from Richmond. Straight out of play.
It was a strange one.
match has just had a anxious tinge to it. That's anything but anxious, though. Chapa Herrera, as cool as a customer can be. Segrist, step off the pace.
It's been a frustrating first half for this home team, and that compounds it there.
It is unfamiliar confines here at Riggs Field, the campus of Clemson University, but it's not like it's a venue that Greenville are completely strangers to.
No. Yeah, we didn't ask Dave Dixon where they've been training of late, obviously with the move away from the turf at Paladin and the move to grass at G Nova. You think they would have found a spot to train on grass.
Of course, Richmond will be right at home as they boast one of the best playing surfaces in all USL League One. Another foul call.
A word here with Chapa Herrera.
Chapa Herrera trots away. Gotta have the intuition now at this point, having a couple of entanglements. That next foul could very easily be a yellow card for persistent infringement as we wait on the board to go up for stoppage time. High overhead off the foot of Hassan Liadi. It's a game of head tennis breaking out. Darwin Espinal will circle in and keep it alive for Richmond kickers. Another clattering foul, this time from Rodrigo Robles, who's already sitting on the booking. Referee giving him the side eye as he passes on.
It's an effective tool when used correctly.
Speaking from experience, yeah. Down the line it goes, served in. Still on. Twisting away as Luca Dorado scored against Greenville last year for forward Madison. Now a shot from distance. And it will loop over the bar, but getting the sense from Richmond, having seen some of the spotty goalkeeping from them all night, a little bit more license from those deeper areas.
Yeah, listen, goalkeeping is a confidence position.
We have crossed over into GE Vernova stoppage time, to be more precise, a measure of 2 minutes assessed, a little bit light considering how much touch and go we saw throughout the course of the frame.
I don't think Dave Dixon will mind that. If he wants to get to this locker room as quickly as possible, try and sort things out.
Coming off a discombobulated first half against Union Omaha, it has been a sequel against Richmond here at home today for Greenville. And that might turn into more of a nightmare. Amal Knight's up out of goal. It's not a very effective bit of clearing, but it does get the job done.
And once again, Greenville just losing track of a runner at the back. Just looking at each other. Poor touch there.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play. Download now. And if it were a video game and Dave Dixon on the sticks, I think he might need a new controller. Been a frustrating one through these first 45 minutes and change.
And that will somehow change it to easy mode at halftime if he can't.
Fortunately, that is not an option, at least to my knowledge.
See if he makes any changes at the break. We mentioned Connor Evans, but you know, would you put him at fullback? It's less effective there when you're down 1-0.
Past the 2 minutes given, and we're past the expiration date, in fact, of this first half of play in Clemson, South Carolina, where that man has made the greatest impact. Mujib Murana, his first goal of the year, has separated the sides as the curtain falls on the first half of play. Ross, how do you see it?
Yeah, an impressive first half from the visitors. 9 shots to 3. We'll get to more stats at halftime. And that man will want that first half back.
Richmond's in the catbird seat as we hit the intermission. Triumph have been put to the sword through 45 minutes. The Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report coming to you when we return Much to do here at the break.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do, and our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
When I was in high school, my coach liked to say, "You don't rise to low expectations." And that's just always stuck with me. With the help of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to get a degree in secondary education. Now it's my turn to invest in my athletes, the same way my coaches did for me. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll do the same for someone else.
Better coaches means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Here at the half, the Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report in full swing as we get a chance to pick our heads up and look at the landscape in the league. The team of the week.
Instilling in your team the identity and great pass through, challenge made. Right pops right back up. Oh my goodness! Ollie Wright, are you serious?
Oh yes, he was very serious on a great individual moment. Poor little Hearts and Pines, Ollie Wright could have easily stayed on the ground and win a free kick. Instead, he has an eye for goal and catches Cosmos goalkeeper Tristan Stefani off his line. So why not go for the chip? Executed perfectly. That was the first of 2 goals for Wright in a 3-1 victory. That's your Select League One goal of the week.
Rosa gives it a go!
Here's Moon, strolling forward on the break now for Boise. Kostashin in space, and finishes! It is a buzzsaw from Boise, and they're 2-0 to the good. has options in the box. Kostashin goes for goal, and what a strike it is! It is a world-class finish from a player who has set the world alight in Boise.
Oh, that is a screamer! Yeah, and a goal!
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Goes for goal! It is a buzzsaw from Boise!
Back post, crashing in! Max Glasser delivers for Naples!
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through. Growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Halftime rolling on here in Clemson, South Carolina with a home side. Have ground to make up against Richmond Kickers. 1-0 is our score. As for the other scores from around the division, how things are unfolding on this match week, we take a look under the hood, and the big one already today coming in. Chattanooga Red Wolves declarative in that result at home over Sarasota.
Now former Richmond kicker Matt Bentley with a hat-trick and an assist in that one as the Red Wolves pound Sarasota.
Also in progress, Fort Wayne opening up that new venue last weekend. They've got Westchester 0-0 in the middle of that one.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one as we get to the second half of our game here.
Portland and Union Omaha whetting the appetite at 8 p.m. following us on, and then on Sunday, Spokane and SC Naples, two of the early challengers in the league. In that one intertwined. As for the upcoming fixtures for this Greenville side, these are presented by Doubletree, and the one that's got everybody at attention is that one against Fort Madison, the one we've been talking about, the home opener for GE Vernova Park.
Well, these three games, as you mentioned earlier, Peyton, the reason why 3 points would have been so important tonight for Greenville, they got 45 minutes to sort that out. They need some kind of momentum going into these two very tough away matches at Portland, at Knoxville, and then that home opener for GE Vernova on the 3rd of June.
Enough of the results have come in to feel like this Richmond upcoming schedule has something to inform the table we're about to look at. Charleston Battery is up next for them.
Yeah, the Battery is certainly not having the season we perhaps thought they would this year. Looked a bit more beatable than they have in the past. At Chattanooga, obviously one of the toughest places to play in USL League One. And then home against the new boys at Boise on May 30th.
Here's where Richmond set up in that table, the standings for the league at this point in the year, and they are just above the playoff right now. If they continue with this result and get a third consecutive win, they'll be feeling a lot better about themselves.
Yeah, there was 4 familiar names we seem to saw at the top of the table all of last season up there, and then good to see Boise hanging out as well.
Greenville triumph. It is not a pretty picture coming off their first ever playoff miss a year ago. They are going to have to make up a lot of distance. The early season is any indication.
Yeah, no doubt about it. See how these next 45 minutes go if they can try and find 3 points here tonight.
Standings are brought to you by Index. As for who will be bringing you a look inside the league, we check in with Dan Lucas. Dan?
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the League One headlines. Fort Wayne FC finally got to enjoy the feeling of playing a home match last weekend. The grand opening of Roth Mortgage Stadium began with 4 goals in the opening 15 minutes, ending in a 2-2 draw with Charlotte Independence. Fort Wayne played 5 away matches in all competitions before that home opener, but gets to enjoy 6 of 7 at home during the month of May. One Knoxville's run to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup earned $50,000 in prize money for being the last remaining League One team in the tournament. Knoxville's signature moment was a victory at DC United in penalty kicks in the round of 32. Congratulations to Greenville Triumph defender Brandon Fricke, the first player to surpass 15,000 minutes in League One history. The numbers are incredible. 173 starts, 49 clean sheets, and he will challenge you on headers, winning 469 aerial duels, the second most in League One history. Upcoming national broadcast, AC Boise and FC Naples next Wednesday, then it's Richmond Kickers and Charleston Battery in the USL Cup, and Rhode Island hosts Brooklyn in the USL Championship. All 3 matches on the CBS Sports Network. The second half is getting closer. Let's get you back out to your match.
Soy María, una de las asistentes que habla español aquí en Johnston Orthodontics. Estamos listos para brindarle un servicio excepcional y estar con usted en cada paso de su viaje dental. Llámanos y programa tu cita hoy.
Turf grass management is not just guys going out and cutting grass and putting bases down. There's so much more to it. Major League Baseball has made a substantial increase in the standards that all ball clubs should have. And a piece of it is you have to be a graduate of a 2 or 4 year turf grass management program. Having a life scholarship made that possible for me.
Job readiness means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we are proud to be a family-owned practice, serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do, and our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
Half 2 on the horizon, but for the first half, highlights of that frame presented by AFL. Once more with the Devon board on Peyton Gallagher. It was Richmond Kickers with the wheel in 2 hands.
Yeah, we're not going to see too many highlights from Manning Green in this package. This was about the only chance in the first half. Pass was just ahead on Azad Liadi. This was a good play by Amal Knight. Unfortunately, it was followed by this. His nightmare first half was capped by this shot that should never really have gone in. Speculative strike from Majid Marana. Did take a nasty bounce in front on Amal Knight. He didn't move his feet so far out. He could have just moved his feet over and caught that ball standing up. This was almost a second crucial mistake. Unfortunately, Owen O'Malley couldn't take advantage of it. Would make a decent save here. We went the wrong way, you'd think, when you dive to your right. Instead, going back to your left shows that you're not particularly confident keeper. What about this chance for Luka Dorado? Off the crossbar, some questions if that did go over the line or not. Mentioned no goal line technology in USL League One. This would have been a spectacular way to tie things up. Aliadi couldn't get it on target, as you can see there. Shots on target, 0 for the Triumph in those first 45 minutes, and they will be making a change to try and remedy that.
It is hard to score when you don't put any shots on target. Richmond will be thinking to themselves they maybe should have a little bit more. After that first half, halftime stats are brought to you by Garrett Sen. A change is brought to you by Dave Dixon. You had to imagine he might recalculate a little bit out of halftime, and to that end, Connor Evans comes into the game replacing Evan Lee. Notable as he had a goal contribution in both of the meetings a year ago. 2 assists total to go along with his first ever professional goal, once more against Richmond in the league in Virginia last year. How do you imagine that might shift things in midfield as Richmond have gone a little bit unorthodox on the kickoff, and it might yield something?
Certainly one of the more interesting ways I've seen the second half starting. Yeah, Connor Evans, you see where he slots in, perhaps just ahead of Chapa Herrera. The chance creating machine has to help this team get something going here in the second 45 minutes.
Was that kickoff stranger of a strategy than what we saw from Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, kicking the ball directly out of play to set up their defense of all goal kicks in the midweek as foul is called? That was a key theme in the first half.
And we've seen some interesting tactics from kickoffs over the last couple of years. Remember the old sort of everybody line up on the halfway line and just run towards the penalty box and smash it down there.
I was queuing for you to talk about the Bournemouth strategy.
That is one of
Light 2 years ago.
So I'm trying not to jinx anything when it comes to my cherries at the moment, Peyton.
From one set of red to another.
Yes, of course, Bournemouth's original colors, white and red, just like Richmond's.
Is that true?
It is. Why with the cherries, yeah. Ended up going red and black to be just like AC Milan. It was funny today. I was refereeing at a youth tournament, and one of my fellow refs had a bear on his backpack with a red and black striped jersey. I said, "There's no way. It wasn't. It was an AC Milan."
It was
bear,
in fact no way.
But as well as we're doing, I thought maybe he's a Bournemouth fan.
Another foul call. I'll tell you this. One unmistakable jersey on the night is the one that's blue. Very busy evening from Kevin Broadley.
Chapa Herrera, a little hard done by that. I'm not sure how much of that foul Kevin Broadley saw. He was running away from it. So he had his head half turned. Saw the Richmond player on the ground and blew the whistle.
Flick down the channel, arriving there first to escort it out of play will be Brandon Fricky. Already 20 total fouls called between the two teams, only 11 for Greenville. Quite frankly, feels like it's been a few more than that.
Yeah, a lot of silly fouls. Just needless stuff, just stopping the flow of the game. Richmond obviously would love to continue that theme as this game continues.
This much is true for Richmond, as trying to take some of the rhythm out of the game probably would be well served. They've only scored 1 second half goal all year so far. So it would be certainly helpful for them to be put in a position in which 1 goal is enough on the day. Sloping forward, it's Accio. Some fancy footwork, and it stings the palms of the goalkeeper. Villion does just enough for now.
I like it from Accio, who we saw start the game very well and kind of faded away as the first half went on. This is what he can do. Stretch things. Good contact, good comfortable height for Villion in the end. Could have fallen anywhere. There was a couple of Greenville players in the box.
Just like that, the drums bang to life. Fans finally making some noise. Buccaneering forward though is Dorado. Another hazardous moment at the back. 2 players down and a ruling to be leveled.
That was brave from Amal Knight. Not the first time tonight he's come running out to claim a ball this time in the box. Got there first. Dorado with the contact and the foul. Good aerial win by Dorado, shrugging off the challenge of Anthony Patti in a nasty collision. Both players on their feet, though, appear to be okay. Yellow card for Dorado, much to his shock. Was certainly the second best to that ball, but I'm not sure if it was late enough to deserve a card.
All right, then.
Not sure whose voice that is being picked up on the microphone.
I'll say this.
I don't think there was any simulation involved there at all.
All right.
Knight just trying to shake that off.
He's had an eventful evening all night. How about the performance from Luca Dorado so far, making his first league start of the season? Richmond's.
He's mentioned earlier before the game, a much different player than Josh Kirkland, but he has shown that pace off tonight. Certainly more of a physical presence than Kirkland in the box. Hasn't had to spend a ton of time there, sort of looking for those half chances though so far tonight.
Swansky told us that they had one more roster space open and they were looking to sign maybe more of a 10 type. When Dorado shook loose and became available, they didn't really hesitate, even though that wasn't the profile they were planning for. Now the question kind of becomes, is there a world in which he can coexist with Josh Kirkland? Because the back of an evening like this is going to be very difficult to keep Dorado out of the team going forward.
Yeah, I think they're different enough players that they could perhaps work in tandem up top in a 4-4-2. We've seen Darren Swatsky use the 4-4-2 in the past. I think we've seen Darren Swatsky use almost every formation in the past, but he has used 4-4-2.
Herrera hammering on the gas and flips out of play with a collision. It's a throw-in for Greenville.
Let's see both players on their feet there. The stands a little close to the pitch on this side.
The referee apologizes after conferring with the fourth official.
It did look like it came off the Greenville player.
I'd have to agree. And it will be a Richmond throw.
Slight complaints from the Greenville bench, but they were right in front of it as well.
I'm all night away. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Greenville's goalless woes continue. You have the one shot on target now, though. Already 7 minutes into the half after going quietly through the first 45. The man who authored it on the ball here, Akiel, giving way to Azad Liati. Lucas Meek back on the bench today in terms of reserve firepower on the attacking end, but no to Shane Beckford. Robles. You applaud the audacity and not much beyond that.
Worth a crack just to keep the Arphillian awake.
Dave Dixon underscored in preliminary conversations ahead of the match with us. This was a massive match. He wasn't shying away from it.
No.
The performance maybe hasn't matched that expectation so far for Greenville, though.
No, and obviously, sometimes you can have the great performance and don't get the result. Dixon was very clear about that. He just wanted to see a big performance tonight, and it hasn't happened so far.
Greenville were shut out on 10 occasions last year. Was the joint second most in the division. If they can't find the back of the net here, not only will they drop points again, be 3 successive games in the league that they've been shut out, and 4 overall. When you factor for the loss to Pittsburgh in the Prince Tires USL Cup. That was a necessary tackle out there.
He had 7 goals in those opening 2 home games against the Cosmos and Westchester, but perhaps you have to consider the quality of opposition there. Westchester is struggling at the back all year.
Maybe they just don't like New York.
There's a lot of transpats in Greenville. I would assume so. Oh, that was lovely.
Fashioning forward and doing so stylishly are the Triumph. Now it will be wound back for prior foul unless a corner's been given here.
I'm surprised there isn't a yellow card being given. That was a crunching challenge. Referee probably having a word. Looks like it will be though. Greenville's starting to come into this game a little bit.
They have a tough defense to try and pick through. When you look at the assembly of this team, Bridgeway Brewing corner kick coming for Devin Boyce. 18 plus players in this roster for Richmond, listed at 6 foot or taller. Defending their box now. Not doing so very well, headed back across goal. And bounded out for what will be another corner kick somehow.
Certainly the best scoring chance of the evening for the Triumph. Just wouldn't fall to somebody. Flicked on here. Actually, I don't think it did get a touch. Evans was in the mix. Touched over from his boot by a Richmond player. I think it was Majid Morano. It may have hit. Greenville take advantage of this momentum here.
Bit of buoyancy in the stride of the Triumph as well in their supporter section. Hurled in without swing, headed on. It was a bit of an awkward attempt as Patrick Segrist ducked well to dart it towards target.
Some positive things to build on here for the Triumph. Another good delivery. Segrist here making the run. You can see what he was trying to do. He knew where he had to be. Just a bit of an awkward header, as you said, Peyton, in the end. Wasn't quite in position to direct it on target.
Pretty impressive choreography, though, to shake him loose. Called before the ball could even come down out of the air.
Richmond a little shell-shocked here.
Finally starting to find a bit of a groove. Another foul called against the Richmond Kickers.
Devin Boyce coming over again, trying to provide a quality delivery.
He always fashions himself as the man to make the impact. Having growing influence over this first 15 minutes or so of the second half. Hackles raised a bit to the roadside.
Referee Broadway having a chat. A couple of the Richmond players.
Only players on the booking right now, Mujib Murana and Rodrigo Robles. Ball in, and bandied over the goal. Should also update the accounting there, just to make sure everything's all square. Luca Dorado also on a yellow card, as well as Owen O'Malley. In fact, when all was said and done for Richmond in their last game against Westchester, had 7 players on a booking in that game with none sent off. That's the second most in league history. Bouncing that tightrope again. Proverbially and literally in this moment with the corner quickly approaching without swing again. Another useful delivery from Devin Boyce, who will get another strike. Spun away, but not all the way clear, but play will be summoned back for what looks like an apparent head injury.
There's a collision at the front post between Fricky. See who that Richmond player is on the ground. Perhaps we'll take a look here. Oh, yep. Dakota Barnathan coming off second best. Good job by Kevin Broadley in stopping play.
Those two have had their wars down the years. Now, just for the point of order, should be a drop ball here, correct?
Yeah, I didn't see who had possession. It was kind of up in the air. It'll be interesting to see what Kevin Brawley does here. He may just drop it to Jan Fillion in the box.
A bit of a stir, much more energy in the grandstands here at Riggs Field than there was at any point in the first 45. Pretty good crowd on hand as well.
Yeah, saw some fans on their feet for these last couple of corners as Barnathan is back on his feet. Good to see.
Injury stoppage is presented by Upstate Spine and Sport.
I think it is also now who last played the ball with the law changes. Looks like it will be given back to Richmond. Barnathan will have to come off. His play was stopped for his injury.
Triumph fans, we will see you on June 3rd for opening night at our forever home, GE Vernova Park, as Greenville Triumph take on Forward Madison in a can't-miss matchup presented by GE Vernova. Festivities begin at 4:30 p.m. FanFest at Bridgeway Station. Before you make your way into the stadium for the very first time, be sure to arrive early because every fan will receive a t-shirt to celebrate this historic night. This is more than just a game, folks. It's the start of a new era. So wear your green and come ready to welcome GE Vernova Park and make it quite the atmosphere. Now we're gone, and Greenville counting every second. They might be able to embrace that home field advantage because it has not presented here tonight. Sangliati trying to change that fact, bringing in Camito Fritz. The final ball is just without much conviction.
Yeah, sloppy from the rookie there.
Chapa Herrera shuttling one on. Down by Sangliati, who takes a taming first touch. This is a better ball from Fritz, but swoops over everybody. Kept on by Segrist. Finally, some sustained pressure from the Triumph. Ball in. Glanced out for another corner.
And this is much more like it.
Devin Boyce looms large, a shadow over the ball from the corner flag. Rodrigo Robles provides the shortest avenue. Swung a mile high and into the parking lot.
I think it was a goal kick, as you see Robles not happy with that delivery from Devin Boyce. It was an interesting one, low. It's going to take something special to score from that kind of delivery.
The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. At USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com. The complete USL TV listings.
I think at some point soon here we'll see Leo Castro. He's played nearly a half an hour each of the last two games.
Zambliati. Never able to get full purchase of the ball in the dangerous area, which has been a bit of a story for the whole night. As the throw belongs to the kickers and tempers flare.
I think it's going to be a foul. I think Camito Fritz with the shove right in front of our camera here. Well, going to take the free kick. You can't just take off and dribble with it.
Former Triumph man Hayden Anderson was trying to pull the fast one.
Said his name tonight. Sometimes a good thing when you're a defender. If we haven't said your name. Let's take a look at it here. Fritz with the shove. Espinal went down a little easily. And we start with the free kick.
Shove in the back, and foul is awarded the other way.
A fun physical battle between those two. All on the yellow, got to be a little careful.
That being said, no, he did not score the goal. He may have scored one later that came down off the bar. one for the after show. Folks will be talking about that, but for all things intents and purposes with this game, pretty solid argument. He's maybe been the best player on the pitch so far.
Yeah, he's impressed. He was impressed in his Madison days as well. UCF man.
Teammates with the same bub there. And blasted on a tall trajectory over goal. There's Avliati. He's found it difficult today.
Interesting to see if Leo Castro does enter the fray. Did they leave Liadi on and go with two up top? Perhaps pull Nakio, drop Liadi a little bit. He is capable of playing a complementary role.
Chapa Herrera charging forward with reckless abandon. Devin Boyce pocketed there as it was poked away from him. Hayden Anderson, another strong bit of defending and a throw-in.
Hayden Anderson's done well at left back so far in his Richmond career, considering not really his natural position. So certainly saw him play more on the left side for Greenville, and another foul on him. Fritz goes down a little easily, or Chapa, excuse me.
Devin Boyce. It was a devious delivery. Just dove beyond the clutch of Akio at the back stick, though. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 on the Sirius XM app. Greenville turning up the volume on the attacking end as they turn toward the turf is Azan Liati there. Calling his name a lot more over the last 15 minutes than we have the entirety of the game, at least to this prior point.
Yeah, starting to drop a little deeper. Try and get around the ball. It's been all Richmond here, all Greenville here for the last 15 minutes or so.
Last time Greenville fans saw Azad Liati, he was scoring 2 goals and adding an assist against Westchester. All quiet since. Didn't have much of an impact over those 2 road dates preceding this match. He is standing with mouth watering over the set piece from Devin Boyce, who might go for goal from here. He does, but that's not too much dismay from Jan Filion, who's eyeing consecutive clean sheets now.
Yeah, disappointing there from Devin Boyce. Seems like he got caught in 2 minds. Either to shoot or cross it. Didn't really do either. It was a tame shot, if that.
Now we've only seen the 1 substitution so far. That came at halftime for Greenville, trying putting on Connor Evans. Neither of these teams have much to think about in terms of a midweek fixture, so fitness is not a concern, at least preeminently in the mind of either manager, but we'll be curious to see as we approach the 70-minute mark if either team starts to look to freshen things up from the dugout. Another foul call. And it does just about look like Darren Sawatsky has given the final instructions to Landon Johnson, who will replace Luca Dorado up top.
Yeah, some fresh legs. Get the press going a little bit more.
Now Johnson naturally is more of a winger than a 9. He can perform both roles.
He got the start in the league opener against Davy Alta on the right side. And I think his job here will just be, when the ball does get down in that Greenville end, just chase it, put some pressure on those back 2 in the middle.
He's lightning quick, and that's plenty useful. Left, right, and center. It does look like he will step into that more central role in the attack.
Richmond can certainly love that second goal. That could potentially put this one away. You can see them here trying to keep Greenville pinned in.
Maybe a bit of smart management there from Darren Sawatsky, seeing how the game is going and understanding exactly how on balance and in control his team is. What's the thing that could most easily upset that? A player getting sent off for a second yellow. Dorado was on the booking.
Yeah, Dorado can be a little reckless at times physically.
Again, And his first start of the year had been used as a sub in these 6 prior matches. Landon Johnson might have a chance here as the ball is chipped over the goalkeeper and put into the back of the net. Richmond double the lead. Tarek Panholzer pierces through and puts Greenville on their back.
I haven't mentioned him much this evening. Tarek Panholzer found himself in open space on that right side. There was perhaps half a question if he was offside. Didn't here. Seacrest again caught out of position. That's a delightful finish by Panholzer with the calm chip. Maybe Brandon Fricky was keeping him onside. Didn't matter. He didn't care. Well, it might with the outstretched arm, but nothing any of these Greenville players could do to keep that one out. And there is that second goal Richmond were certainly looking for.
Panholzer puts himself on the marquee. A stealthy run and a stylish finish. And Greenville drop their head in dismay.
Yep, certainly against the run of play. You can see Richmond trying to keep this press on here. Not going to let Greenville settle again, get back into the rhythm. 20 minutes to go here.
I'll say this, it wasn't a full tear down. It was a Richmond remodel, if you will, in the offseason. A change of the game model. Big drop in possession, we've already told you, but maybe not demonstrated to what extent as a carousel of collisions breaks out in mid-park. Greenville will maintain the ball. Already told you that possession is the second lowest in the league this year for Richmond at 36%. What we've not told you is that is the second sharpest decline from one season to the next in league history. 11% down over last year from 47%. The only one that's bigger, Ross, was Chattanooga last year. We know what they did.
They did. And the number tonight, 46.7%, much towards their normal from last campaign. I think a lot of that has just been how sloppy Greenville has been with the ball, giving it back to Richmond.
Don't miss your chance to rep Greenville Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.greenvilletriumph.com. Gear up for latest official kit and merch drops for the Triumph. Whether you're cheering on in the stands or watching at home, show everyone who you support. Get your merch today. Wear your green with pride.
It's poor there for boys. A chance on the transition for Greenville. Devon just giving it away in the middle of the park.
It does look like Leo Castro has been instructed to get up off the bench and at least get the blood pumping. Yet to start a game this year. If he does come on for a cameo, it will be his 5th league appearance and is yet to score that commensurate goal of his.
Yeah, maybe the aforementioned Devon Boyce coming off. Obviously, he hasn't played a full game in quite a while. Some tired legs out there, perhaps, especially in that last pass.
A little bit casual there from Camilo Fritz.
It was. I was panicking for a second. Looks like we will perhaps get to see Leotti and Castro give it a go up top. I mean, why not? Down 2-0 at this point.
Leotti can function in a variety of roles. We've seen him used a couple times this year as a winger, but certainly could play in tandem with Leo Castro in that big little relationship up top.
Yeah, Robles can also play out wide as well. We'll see what tinkering comes here.
What we do know is Leo Castro is coming on, and the one making the vacancy for an occupy is Devon Boyce. Substitution is presented by Spinks. Quarter hour left to save it for Greenville. And they've chosen their favorite son, Leo Castro, to maybe play the role of hero, all-time leading goal scorer for the Triumph.
It'll certainly be a nice time to pop up. We want to make these last 17 or so minutes a little more interesting for the home fans. Looks like Castro's setting up out wide himself for the time being. We'll see if that changes.
Just hobble out of play. Going to come for the kickers. Swing out to the far flank. Bonnie's arriving in red shirts. Them all night. will cleanly catch this one. Darren Sawatsky a little bit upset against the ball structure from the kickers in that moment. And they quickly come back to contest by Darwin Espinal. And even if a foul is given away, it stops any forward progress from the Triumph.
I think Darren Sawatsky was a little more upset that the ball was just given away so cheaply in the final third. You want to hold on to possession.
Oh, that's tidy. And again, it's one beat, one breakaway. Triumph just don't have what they need.
Yeah, that centre back pairing, Barnathan and Leighton, has been solid tonight in the middle of that back line for Richmond. Limited any real consistent goal scoring chances for Greenville over these 75 minutes. We mentioned now without Sean Vinberg at the moment, as well as Ethan Koss at center back.
Two starter caliber players at center half. Dakota Barnathan moonlighting there a little bit. He's looked quite good. This is a Richmond side that averaged 53 goals last year, and it at this current heading feels impossible that they supersede that this year. Leo Castro finding a bit of a soft spot and slaloming away. It's Accio now. Castro calling for it and overcooks.
I forgot we had a bit of an incident between Azad Liadi and Dakota Barnathan. Liadi shoved Barnathan, I think pulled him back, looking for help from the assistant referee, not going to get it.
Espinal on the overlap. It's Hayden Anderson against his former club with runway. He went the one place he couldn't go.
Yeah, should have just smashed one. Ask more questions about him all night.
Pause and play, a good time to tell you that at Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals.
Do they offer classes in goal scoring, Peyton?
I'm not going to answer that. I think you know the answer. And if they did, I'd be taking them and not sitting next to you.
You need some natural talent to go with that education, Peyton. Not saying you don't have it. I've never seen you on a soccer pitch.
Well, maybe this will be instructive. I was a goalkeeper, notably not typically the guy scoring goals, so.
Chapo Herrera down, getting up though. Still running around like a maniac, Chapo Herrera 5 minutes ago. Not sure what he's complaining about.
He's been champing at the bit to get back into the action, making his season debut last time out against Union Omaha. Did score against Richmond Kickers in the last meeting, way back when last year in South Carolina. Now, I will say this. I do take umbrage with the fact that the expression is champing at the bit. It should be chomping, but historically that's just untrue. Something afoot. It's O'Malley, and it's 3. O'Malley plays provider and punched home with prejudice from Landon Johnson. Richmond on the route, Greenville. Soul searching to do.
Yeah, fine finish by Landon Johnson. Greenville players caught out of position yet again, looking for help behind. Still pulled back by O'Malley. Chapo Herrera just caught out a little bit there, not tracking his marker, ball watching. Johnson just stepping around him and finishing with class. And after a great first half of this second half, things have gone horribly wrong here for the Triumph.
Such a slick piece of movement from the teenager, Landon Johnson. One change to be made by Darren Sawatsky as Austin Amer is injected. So not only have Greenville failed to find the beat on the attacking end again today. Their defense has been torn asunder in a way that is unfamiliar this year.
And that's the one spot, obviously, in the middle of the park where we didn't have any major changes in the offseason with Fricky and Partey. Saw Anthony Partey step up a lot in the second half of last season to play in that spot. Fullback positions have been an issue. Fritz has stepped up nicely as a rookie. Seagrass been caught out again tonight, just like he was last weekend.
Darwin Espinal making way for the Amer substitution. Headed dangerously towards goal and taken over top.
Justin Amer, could see him back in the USL League One, former Orlando City B man.
That's good recall from you.
It's one of those names you see, I know that name from somewhere, then I had to remember where I saw it. Yeah, Orlando City B, back in the day. Went back to Germany, played there in lower tiers for a few years, back now in USL League One.
2 seasons with Orlando City B in 2019 and 2020. 33 appearances across those. 6 appearances last year in the German 6th tier, but before that was out of pro soccer for 3 seasons. A yellow card is being brandished, 2-2.
Perhaps Azadliadi letting out some frustration there. As I mentioned, no game for Greenville next weekend. Frustrating scheduling situation because after a result like this, you want to get back out on the pitch again. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while until Greenville does that. Those road games against Knoxville and Portland.
I think I maybe had mentioned earlier that they had a game against Loudoun coming up. That game being moved because of the stadium. And just a talking to from the referee, and that is albeit not showing it very well, happy man, you'd have to assume.
I forgot to ask Darren if his wife still makes cookies after every victory this week.
I'm sure the oven is being preheated if that's the case. Robles. And that will be Rodrigo Robles' last act of the match. As for White, looks like he's set to be thrust in. And he's got some instruction in hand as well. Passing notes, Greenville triumph. Substitution provided by Spinks. Also, I'm going to give you some trivia as Leo Castro lays claim to the ball. This is your favorite segment of the show.
Go on. Depends if I know the answer or not.
The biggest margin of victory for a team when these two teams are involved is Hayden Anderson goes clashing in and gets it out for a corner. This is a bit of a trick question.
I say today might be the answers to that.
Ah, trust your instincts. It is. If it holds, 3-0 would be the largest scale and scope of a result for either side. Bridgeway Brewing Company corner coming. Never has there ever been a 0-0. As that is scraped wide. Considering Richmond had had so little success against Greenville in the last couple of years, we're able to take a result in the League Cup over them in 2024, but that was in penalties. Looking for what would be an outright victory for the first time since 2023. Well, Castro couldn't get out of the blocks fast enough. Landon Johnson already with 1 goal to his name. Aiden Anderson. Forward for Daniel Moore, who had checked into the game a little while ago. Typically a defender, but now functioning a lot further upfield. Saw him at center back a couple times for Crown Legacy and MLS Next Pro in 2025. Lucas Meek has also come on for Dave Dixon and the Triumph.
Yeah, Lucas Meek, a guy Dave Dixon was very excited about bringing in this offseason.
Takes with him that championship pedigree as he played his part in that one Knoxville team a year ago. Dealt with a lot of injury. Well, historically, Ricks Field has been a friendly venue to Greenville Triumph. To think back to that Seba Velasquez goal of yore. That has not been the case today as Hayden Anderson confiscates it and looks to compile. That insult to injury infield. The last ball was waiting for Landon Johnson, but it never got there. Richmond recoil and go again.
Yeah, I certainly hope the fans show up on the 3rd of June no matter what happens in these next couple of tough road games for Greenville. It's going to be a special night there against forward Madison. Listen, Dave Dixon, first year head coach here with Greenville Triumph. It's going to take a little while to figure things out. He's got how to best use everybody.
Slicing run from Liati. He does put a leash to it. Finding Chapa Herrera forward now. Chooses his man in the box who goes down. Looked like it was Lucas Meek who saw the ball land with a thump in his vicinity, and it's out for a corner kick belonging to Connor Evans. There's a second ball on the field. Now there's not. Bridgeway Brewing Company corner. Greenville needs something to go their way. Guided in by Evans. They'll do it again. Big block.
Moran doing a good job of staying goal side.
Taken promptly, and Evans gets a better angle. Swooped in, and a stellar save. Yen Filiout will not part ways with his clean sheet so easily.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic there in front of him. Did enough to keep it out.
A knock-on header. Brendan Fricke's practically playing striker at this point. Slip and slide at the near touch line as Lucas Meek goes to ground, and foul is won by Hayden Anderson.
Yeah, harsh there on Lucas Meek. I thought he won the physical battle shoulder to shoulder with Hayden Anderson. He went down very easily.
He's having a breakout campaign this year, Hayden Anderson. A bit sparsely used throughout the course of the 2025 season. First year with Richmond, but so far in this campaign, team leader in touches with just over 300 heading into today, and has played almost every minute. Sangliani around the corner and right into the outstretched leg of Sam Layton. And we'll see a yellow card for the indiscretion. I don't think he'll have much trouble putting that in the rear view. Not going to lose any sleep over that.
Yep. Poorly timed challenge, but also a well-timed challenge at the same time.
Well said.
In the 89th minute, a caution has been issued to Richmond's number 4, Sam Layton.
One last muster for Greenville Triumph, maybe. It's It's a limp attempt at that.
Yeah, certainly not time to panic for Greenville Triumph fans, but certainly perhaps time for a little concern with the goal-scoring drought. Again, I mentioned no Deshane Beckford tonight. Not sure the reason for his absence. Just got to figure a way to get these front four to gel, get things going in the final third.
Fiddle back, and Greenville reconstruct from their own end. Chapo Herrera building the game. A lot of bodies up there pressing the back line. Ooh. They're just trying to break this goalless slump. Chapo Herrera came into today. Greenville hadn't scored in 320 minutes in all competitions. We're up over 400 now. If there's any face to save, that's it. Lucas Meek. Lucas Meek still! He was lazing for the top corner off the ricochet, but it flutters into the roof of the net, and apparently it's come off a Greenville player in the mix last.
The referee saying it was 2 touches here. See if we can see it. So the initial one was off, well, maybe it came off the back of Liadi.
And I'll tell you what, that might be a handball.
Substitution for Richmond, entering the match, number 24.
There's going to be one last change.
Exiting, number 4, Sam Layton.
It will be Josh Erlinson who comes on to see things out for Sam Layton on the yellow card.
Solid performance tonight from Sam Layton, the Australian. He can play fullback as well as defensive midfielder, as well as center back.
Inspecting run from Leo Castro, but 5th gear is a harder thing for him to reach these days, and it's out for a goal kick. Here's a look back at that possible handball shout.
Oh, yeah, the hand was out.
It's not down by the side by Dakota Barnathan, so not only a tough break for Greenville in the sense that that was given a goal kick, probably should have been given a penalty.
Yeah, missed one there by Kevin Broadley.
Fortunately for him, he's got plenty of company if we are to bring back up the PSG and Bayern Munich match from the midweek. And that one was far less defensible.
Yeah, I think Kevin Broadley will have a quieter week in the media than that referee did.
Nothing quiet about what's unfolding now. It looks like Richmond were right ready to go through. Meek at the touchline, stayed on by millimeters, and he runs into a speed bump. Not only is it going to be 3 successive victories for Richmond, clean sheets, back-to-back games. Now 2 for them.
Well, they've been impressive. You know, not a team, obviously, with any potential superstars, but they seem to play very well as a unit. Improved as this season has gone on. This young season has gone on, I should say.
Another meaningful data point, just in the sense that previous 2 matches they won at home over Union Omaha and Westchester, dating back to last year. This will be the first time Richmond have won on the road in their last 7 games. They have been outscored 13-4 in those matches. So a little bit of get back here in this one. One of those 7 games, you score 4 goals on the road, you score 3 goals on the day against an old foe, no less.
2 multi-goal games in the last 3 league contests, which they'd struggled to do in their first 4.
Everything's starting to fall into place. The Richmond Kickers, a proud organization that missed out on the playoffs very similarly to Greenville a year ago. Castro having a pop at one, and then punishing the defender that stood in his way. Bit of sportsmanship that helped Dakota Barnathan back to his feet.
Mentioned Greenville's testing upcoming schedule. We talked about Richmond's at halftime. We'll go over it again. Hosting Charleston on the 16th, and they'll have a few days off before visiting Chattanooga, and then hosting Boise, at Loudon, at Boise. So things don't get any easy for Richmond. They'll certainly get tested a bunch more times here over the next month or 2.
That Chattanooga match, bit of a border clash Might need to be a third category for possession in that one belonging to the field. But on this day, possession of all 3 points belongs to the boys from Virginia. The Richmond Kickers, for the first time in 97 games, have won 3 on the spin, and Darren Sawatsky might have just found something in his squad here tonight in South Carolina.
Yeah, an impressive job by this group, led by that man in black there, Darren Sawatsky. Had a plan coming into this one. Obviously had a bit of a rough patch to start the second half, but found that second goal and then turned it into a 3-goal victory. There is our man of the match tonight, presented by GE Vernova. Chapa Herrera ran around and did his usual thing at the back. Kept things quite in the middle of the park for Richmond. They have found most of the success out wide.
The play of the match on a scant night for the South Carolinians. Zanliati could have changed things with a leveler just ahead of halftime. This is brought to you by McMillan Pasden.
A bit of athleticism, running backwards and then catching it on the volley. This is our save of the match, presented by Thorne. As Mile Knight, one of the few bright spots for him tonight. Timed his exit of the box perfectly, made the foot save. It was his error that led to the first goal.
This one will sting for Greenville Trap. Richmond Kickers rollicking as they bask in the glow of a well-won performance here in Clemson, South Carolina. At the full-time toll, it is 3-0 to Richmond. We'll break it down when we return.
At Johnston Orthodontics, we combine art and science to create your perfect smile. After a thorough exam with x-rays and digital models, we design custom aligners tailored just for you. With our on-site 3D resin printer, these designs come to life, ensuring a perfect fit every time. Ready to tame your smile? Call us today at Johnston Orthodontics.
There's people that go their whole education without having an African American teacher. So when I received my lottery-funded life scholarship, I knew I wanted to choose a school that had the Call Me Mr. program. Their mission is to recruit and retain teachers in underserved areas. I want them to be able to look at me and say, okay, he looks like me, he knows what I'm going through, he can guide me in the right direction.
More role models means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Not a night for the memory for Dave Dixon, as celebration is on the other sideline. Richmond Kickers put Greenville Triumph to the screws, 3-0. Final tally here on this night at Clemson, South Carolina. The full-time highlights from this game as Greenville found themselves full-time stats are brought to you by the South Carolina Education Lottery. 7 shots on target. It was just dominant, tip to tail from the Kickers.
Yeah, Greenville started to come back into it after the break. As you mentioned, that second goal was the real killer. 3 wins now in their last 10 games, 10 league games at home for Greenville. Be the last one at Clemson. They will open their new stadium on June 3rd and look to turn things around at GE Vernova Park.
So Greenville go back to the drawing board. Richmond Kickers on the right pace. all said and done here from South Carolina, it is a league on notice type of result. The side from Virginia. Folks, we appreciate you making the time on this Saturday in the USL League One. For my partner, Ross Davenport, and our entire fantastic cast and crew, I've always have been Peyton Geller. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.